They're running in the All-American Futurity NFL.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Triple Crown Report, brought to you by Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency. I'm Tim Keithley, along with Hall of Fame broadcaster Tom Dawson, ready to take you through the trials for the All-American. We're so happy to be back, Tom.
Oh man, Tim, I tell you, it's deja vu all over again, as Yogi says. And once again, we're just happy to be able to conduct these trials and keep the All-American on track.
Well, we certainly are, and we're grateful that Albuquerque Downs stepped up once again to provide the venue for the trials, and we'll tell you all about it in just a moment. Triple Crown Report is brought to you by Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency, Granada Farms, American Quarter Horse Association, New Mexico Horse Breeders Association, Kavanaugh Quarter Horses, Kiss My Hawks, and Speed Horse Magazine. We'll be right back to tell you about the trials coming next week for the All-American Futurity when the Triple Crown Report returns.
The American Quarter Horse. They represent a new year, new opportunities, and exciting expectations to be winners. For over 30 years, Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency has insured American quarter horses that include champions and their bloodlines. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency knows that your horse represents a large investment. Ensuring that investment will be the least overall expense an owner has in protecting that investment, whether it's a new foal, a new purchase, or a special runner. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency offers prospective full coverage to protect your investment from the very beginning, while in utero and when your foals are born. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency can insure them at 24 hours of age. Their family has made supporting the American quarter horse a priority. Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency is proud to be a Triple Crown Report sponsor. Visit their website at jonesbloodstockinsurance.com for more information.
Back to the Triple Crown Report, brought to you by Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency. And I know I don't want to show these videos, but I feel like it's important to show the folks. I took these from the Turf Club on July the 8th, and I had a tear in my eye watching the flooding come into the racetrack once again. However, on a positive note, I want everyone to understand that management has let everyone know, including ownership, that there hopefully will be racing at Ruidoso Downs in 2026, and that's a very important statement to make.
Oh, absolutely. People want to know that things are going to go forward. The interim situation is what it is, but the big picture is Ruidoso resuming its spot as the pinnacle quarter horse track in the nation next year.
A lot of work to be done, and that will begin at the end of monsoon season, Tom. But let's talk about the trials up at Albuquerque Downs on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. This is going to be an asterisk no matter what happens.
Well, you know what? We're used to racing on a Monday, Tim, with the All-American Futurity Finals, but the trials, as far as I know, have never been held on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But what it does do is this particular schedule gives the horses actually a few more days back before the finals. They already had 3 weeks. Now they got a few more days, and I can't imagine any horseman complaining about that.
They will be rested and ready. There's no doubt about that, in preparation for all of the races that will be run on Labor Day, September the 1st. Let's turn our attention to the Futurity on day one on Monday up at Albuquerque Downs. And isn't it odd that probably the favorite to win the entire All-American is running in race one on day one in Political Twist?
Well, if that ever proved that this is a luck of the draw situation, that does it right there. I can't imagine the Connections choosing to run in the first race on the first day, but who knows? This is a supremely talented horse, and he's won 2 Futurities so far. He is right on schedule. He did not intend to run in the Rainbow. He didn't lose a thing with the cancellation. He's right where he is supposed to be. we'll see what what he does in that first heat. Sure will set a standard.
And I spoke to the owner, Javier Rodriguez, about Political Twist. They had that horse up early enough to get 4 training sessions on the Albuquerque track and 2 gate works. So
he may be ahead of everybody else.
Right. Javier believes that his horse is ready for day 1, race 1. So that's our first horse to watch is Political Twist. And then we go to race number 3 on Monday morning, 11 a.m. first post time. And here comes Russ Gus, who has done nothing wrong all summer.
He ran second to Political Twist in the Ruidoso Futurity, came back and was the 3rd fastest qualifier for the Rainbow. He figured to be the first or second choice in the finals. And yes, as you say, he's not done anything wrong, should be formidable once again.
And he's out of the same barn as Xavier Rodriguez is the trainer. He's sort of been one of those, always the bridesmaid to Political Twist, but we'll see what happens in the trials. And then in the 7th race on Monday, I tell you, this is the horse that I think everybody better watch out for. WR Desperado, the son of Whistle Stop Cafe, the former All-American filly champ.
Well, he was trying to do what she did, win the Rainbow and then the All-American. He did his part in the trials, qualifying with the fastest time on his day, but unfortunately didn't get to run in the finals. But he's a fresh and dangerous horse coming back here in these All-American trials. Terrific pedigree, terrific performances so far. Mike Joyner knows how to get him there for the All-American.
And WR Desperado looks the part, so muscular, and has a very famous mama that has done the deed. So we'll see what happens in race 7. And then in the 15th race, I wanted to stick this one in because I'm very excited that Francisco Calderon is aboard Flying Chance. This is a horse that has been talked about on the backside all summer.
You know, he's 2 for 2. Deceptively good heat though here, Tim. He's going to have to run his best, I think, to even win this heat, much less qualify. But he is one, as you say, the buzz has been loud around Flying Chance all summer, and now's his chance to live up to the hype.
And that's a late trial, race number 15. So we'll see if that one can sneak in. You got to be in the top 5 to make the final on Labor Day. And then we go to Tuesday's session for the All-American Futurity. And we begin with race 2 and our horses to watch. Feliz Dreaming. This is a young filly with loads of talent for the La Feliz Montaña Ranch.
I really like this filly in the Rainbow Trials, Tim. She was one of my best bets of the day. She was the 7th fastest qualifier. Now, importantly, she is still on perfect schedule because they had no intention of running her back in the juvenile. She did not even enter in the juvenile. So Feliz Dreaming is right on the schedule that Javier Rodriguez and his trainer Xavier Rodriguez had planned for.
And a perfect spot on Tuesday morning. And then we go to the 4th race on Tuesday, and probably this is the horse that has more of a storyline than any other 2-year-old going into the trials. Famous and Relentless, of course, was supplemented in all of the Triple Crown races.
He's earned his way along, and of course, trainer Jason Olmstead thought he'd certainly get a chance to earn his way with a piece of the Rainbow action, and got a little piece when they divided it up. But if we go back to his trial on May 23rd, you will see that he handily defeated a horse called Merkaba. Well, Merkaba came back and qualified for the Rainbow Futurity and is one of the horses to beat for the All-Americans. So don't sell Famous and Relentless short because his last race wasn't his best.
Well, that is our next horse to talk about on our horses to watch in Merkaba. Trainer Clint Crawford says this is a 440 horse. This horse wants all the racetrack it can get.
Yeah, I believe that. And he also wanted all the racing he could get. It was, I think, his 4th start when he qualified for the Rainbow Futurity. So he's one of those that needed the action. He needed the effort. And he definitely, as you say, needs the distance to be at his best.
And then on Tuesday, wrapping up the trials late in the 14th race, trainer Fred Danley has It's a Good Valentine. This was the winner of the Ruidoso Juvenile and turned a lot of heads that day.
And he was third in the West Texas Futurity behind Political Twist. The horse always runs a good race, and I look for him to do that again here. And Timmy's going to need to, because we have a highly unusual situation in that heat. We have a paint.
Has there ever been a paint horse in the All-American?
Not that I recall. The registration rules have changed over the years. The Paint Association is pretty liberal on what they allow into their registry. But this horse is dual registered. He has papers as a paint, he has papers as a quarter horse, and he has a total quarter horse parentage. I saw him run May 31st at Remington Park, beating paints and apps and that futurity there. This horse can run. I don't care what designation you put after his name.
JC Speeding is the horse Tom's talking about, number 4 in the 14th race. The backers put up $50,000 supplement to put the horse in the trials. So here's our horses to watch in the $3 million All-American Futurity Trials. We begin on Monday with Political Twist, Russ Gust, W.R. Desperado, the son of the former All-American champ Whistle Stop Cafe, Flying Chance. And on Tuesday, Felice Dreaming, Famous and Relentless, Merkaba, and It's a Good Valentine. So that's a quality list of horses, Tom, and I wonder how many are going to make the final.
You know, that's a quality list, Tim, and there are so many more. I haven't done all my homework yet, but I've identified 4 or 5 trial races that should qualify as stakes races. They've got so much talent.
When we come back, we'll tell you about the All-American Oaks and the All-American Derby when the Triple Crown Report returns.
One Famous Eagle is a top 10 all-time sire in earnings and stakes winners. His latest champion is aged mare Famous Shining Star. He is the only stallion since 2012 to sire 3 All-American Futurity winners and 2 world champions. One Famous Eagle is number 3 all-time with $42,000 in average earnings per starter and has sired the earners of over $38 million. Put history on your side at Granada Farms.
Kavanaugh Quarter Horses is proud to own AQHA champion Uncle D. Last year's second leading freshman sire has qualifiers in several 2025 states. The $50,000 smart money incentive for Uncle D foals who are Grade 1 Futurity or Derby winners has been extended through 2026. $25,000 goes to Grade 2 and Grade 3 Futurity and Derby winners. Plus, he remains a Ruby Buckle Stallion. Difference maker Uncle D, standing at Lazy E Ranch.
Back to the Triple Crown Report, we'll turn our attention to the big money $700,000 All-American Oaks. That's a big purse for the fillies, Tom.
And who would think, if you just looked at that race and looked at the quality, it's only 5 years old. I mean, this whole concept of creating a filly race to go with the futurities or go with the derbies is certainly not new in thoroughbred racing. They've been doing it for years, and it's caught on in quarter horse racing big time, and none are bigger than the All-American Oaks.
And there are only 4 trials. If I'm going to the select sale coming up on Labor Day weekend, I'm going to buy a filly to have a chance at $700,000 purse with only 4 trials. And let's talk about some of the big horses that we think have a chance in the Oaks. It starts with Curl Happy Wagon, who ran that huge trial race in the Rainbow.
I mean, she was the fastest qualifier for the Rainbow Oaks by a lot, 22 hundredths of a second, which translates to about a length and a half. And that's how fast she was in qualifying in front of, I think, at least 3, maybe 4 others that day. She was by far the fastest. She has the pedigree to back it up. Wasn't a fluke. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if she's going to run that fast, but I wouldn't be surprised to see her come back with another terrific effort.
Curl Happy Wagon will be number 6 in race 2. And then Jesse's Flying Cowgirl sure looks like our runner has had 3 straight victories. An impressive horse for Mark Youngers.
We talk about horses that are going to appreciate the distance, Tim. I think this is another one. The 440 is really a help to Jesse's Flying Cowgirl because of her style. She is a come from behind her. She did that to qualify for the Rainbow Oaks, and I look for her to be rolling late again in this trial.
Horses to watch in the All-American Oaks in race 2, Curl Happy Wagon, and race 3, Jesse's Flying Cowgirl, but a number of really nice fillies with a chance at the big purse for the Oaks, $700K in the All-American Oaks. We'll talk about the Derby runners when we come back from the Triple Crown Report.
Kiss My Hawks is a 2-time AQHA racing champion and multiple G1 winner of more than $1.1 million. The 2012 Sorrel Stallion is by tempting dash out of the Trace Sace mare Romancing Mary. Kiss My Hawks progeny have earnings over $13.8 million from just 9 crops to race. He is the only sire in 2024 with 2 earners of $600,000+. Kiss My Hawks, proudly standing at the Lazy E Ranch.
New Mexico offers year-round racing for both quarter horses and thoroughbreds. $60 million are paid out to New Mexico breds annually, highlighted by Albuquerque's $1.2 million futurity.
KJ Bad Moon Rising Layer Cake. Here's the wire very close.
Your chance to own the next New Mexico bred millionaire awaits. Buy at the New Mexico Bred Sale and the Ruidosa Select Sale. The smart money says New Mexico is the place to race.
For more than 56 years, Speed Horse Magazine has been the trusted source for quarter horse racing news. Our monthly coverage gives insight to current events and racing of quarter horses, paints, and Appaloosas. The annual Speed Horse Stallion Register is an exclusive reference for pedigrees and industry-leading statistics available prior to breeding season. Our print and digital formats will keep you informed and connected. Speed Horse Magazine. We deliver the information that drives the industry.
Back for the final round of the Triple Crown Report, getting ready for the All-American Futurity Trials to be held in Albuquerque Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday we'll run the $1 million All-American Derby for the 3-year-olds going 440, and it starts with FDD Dreams. That has really been the horse of the summer, Tom.
Might start and finish with FDD Dreams, Tim. 2 things about him that we know as fact. 1, he's very fast. And 2, he does nothing wrong. He is gate to wire good every time out. And when a really fast horse can handle himself that well, he's very, very hard to beat. All he's got to do is get away, have a lane, and look for FDD Dreams to be in the finals.
We've had a lot of fun with FDD Dreams. We've had videos of the horse dancing in his stall, and just a happy horse, and what a great job that La Felice Montaigne Ranch does with FDD Dreams. Number 6 in race 7. And then in race 8, I was really impressed, I know you were too, with House of Lords and jockey Francisco Calderon. After a stakes win at Remington, comes over and looks impressive in the Rainbow Trials.
Yeah, we covered, Cowboy Channel covered that Derby he won at Heritage Place there at Remington. Looked very, very good. And he came back into trials for the Rainbow and had his hands full with another horse who we know to be good, Holy Pete. He had to run the entire distance to outrun Holy Pete. He might have to do it again, but he's a very, very solid individual. Sammy Valeriano went out during the winter and bought him from his previous owner, Elizabeth Logan, and it's turning out to be a wise investment.
We have a lot of horses we could be talking about. Apprehensive, Ariat, you mentioned Holy Pete, Kempton and Dow. A lot of really nice 3-year-olds. Let's take a look at our horses to watch. Tom, we only picked 2, FDD Dreams and House of Lords, but that could be a long list.
We'll give you a lot more on race day.
Sounds good to me. And we're all excited. It's going to be 11 o'clock post time on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at Downs of Albuquerque. And you certainly may wager via simulcast at Ruidoso Downs and all of racetrack outlets throughout the state, as well as throughout the country. Folks will be interested. And I know that your coverage also includes the Cowboy Channel.
Yes, Cowboy Channel. We've had to make an adjustment as well, as everyone else has. We were planning a separate show for the Derby and Oaks, but now everything is combined into one elongated show on Labor Day. And we will start at 6:30 Eastern, 4:30 or Albuquerque time, and we will cover as many of the stakes as fall into that window. I'm hoping at least 4 of them fall in there where we can cover.
Triple Crown Report is brought to you by Jones Bloodstock Insurance Agency, Granada Farms, American Quarter Horse Association, New Mexico Horse Breeders Association, Kavanaugh Quarter Horses, Kiss My Hawks, and Speed Horse Magazine. And we just want to take a moment and thank our sponsors for hanging in there with us. They are extremely important to our coverage of horse racing at Ruidoso Downs and the All-American, and we want to thank all of our sponsors for making this show possible, Tom. Should be a very interesting week of races in Albuquerque.
Hey, let's get the week started off right on Monday and slide right on down to Wednesday, and we'll have All-American fields and a lot of time to talk about it.
We certainly will. We'll talk to you next week, and thanks for watching the Triple Crown Report.